also powering dashboards. So we see quite a few people using Spark as the underlying core engine for their dashboard. It can do things like streaming. It can provide interactive access to data. You can drill down into big data sets, and that's great. And then don't underestimate Spark's power in terms of being an ETL engine. So because of the pipelining capabilities, you can access these large data sets. You can perform shuffles in memory and spill to disk, and get a lot more optimal performance for your ETL jobs using Spark. All right, so that's the 4 use cases we're going to talk about anyway. So let's open it up to questions at this point.
Great. Thanks, Pat. Thank you, Anoop. I know it's a lot of information to squeeze within an hour, and you did a great job. We do have a lot of questions. I'm going to jump to this slide because there is a Spark Summit coming up. So everybody on the call today, please take this down. Lots of questions. We're not going to get to them all, but I want to make sure everybody understands that any questions that are asked today will all be sent to Anoop and Pat, and they will answer them directly to you. Their information is also here, so you can take down their direct contact information. So with that, so we have as much time as possible, the first question is, how is Spark streaming better than Storm?
That's a good question. So I wouldn't say better or worse. They're just different. Spark is, so to highlight some of the differences. So Spark streaming is a micro-batch architecture, whereas Storm, you're dealing with individual records. Spark streaming also guarantees exactly once semantics, and so if you want to do that with Storm, you have to add some other pieces to the puzzle. For example, Trident, which is usually backed by a database, and once you do that, the performance can suffer quite a bit. And then if you're using Spark, the core API, for any other processing, whether it's the use cases I mentioned, ETL, a dashboard, etc., it's a pretty natural fit to just simply use Spark Streaming as your streaming API, because in addition to